You know what? Wars will end when human beings, when we demand truth from the media. When we demand truth from the media, wars will end. You know, I like to take pride in myself because I can so-called prophesy this, prophesy that. I'm not prophesying anything. All I'm doing is going to news media sites that will tell me the truth. And once you have the truth, then you can figure out what's going to happen because truth adds up. Truth adds up. And once you have the truth, then you can put one and one together and come up to two. But the problem that we're suffering with, humanity is suffering with, is that we are allowing oligarchs to lie to us. We allow them to own the media and control the narrative. And when we allow them to own the media, control the narrative, they lie to us. For instance, Iraq never had weapons of mass destruction. Never. But we lost lives and wasted money in a war against people just like me and you that were just trying to live a normal life. They weren't bothering anybody. Let me ask you a question. We're all human beings. We're all working class people. What is our main concern? Go to work, make enough to support our families, and enjoy life. That's all we're trying to do. That's all every human being on this planet is trying to do, just that. Raise a family and enjoy life. But we're being lied to. We're being lied to. And Trump, he's the biggest liar out there. We have to demand truth in the news media and hold people accountable that create false narratives to suit their purpose, which is always to make money. Always. You look at America is lying, is telling a lie about Burkina Faso. Talking about Ibrahim Traore is hurting the people. No, he's building roads, hospitals, schools, jobs for the people in Burkina Faso. And Trump told a bald-faced lie when he said that told the truth when he said he wanted 90% of the gold and oil in Burkina Faso. Now we're going to have to, if they're not going to tell us the truth, we still have to have sense enough to subtract lies from the truth. Why, going back to Iraq, why would Iraq want to attack the United States? Why? Why would the people in Iraq want to attack the United States? There's no reason for that. There is no reason for racism in America. Black people, melanated people, have never attacked Caucasians. Never. All the powers to be have to do is manage the money. Manage the money. And they do manage the money. They manage the money to abuse us and to take everything and to create classes, the rich, the middle class, and the poor. They do that on purpose. And the middle class, you just getting crumbs off the table. The middle class, you middle class, you make between $100,000 $200,000 a year. What is that compared to a person that's making $5 and $6 million a year? You're getting the crumbs. And then they get so much money. What has Bill Gates or Elon Musk did to where they should be worth more than 3 million people on the planet? Why should one person have more money than 3 million people on the planet or more? What has he given to humanity that was so great that benefits us to such an extent to where he should be a billionaire? He's given nothing. Every billionaire on the face of this planet has exploited and lied to the American people. Even if you are a basketball player and you're making commercials, those commercials are lies because they have you paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for tennis shoes that cost $7 and $8 to make. Doesn't make any sense. And the people who are making those tennis shoes can't even afford them. At some particular point in time, humanity, we're going to have to act like we got common sense. If we don't act like we got common sense, we're going to continue to have homeless people, people on drugs, people paying outrageous amounts of money for health care, people paying outrageous amounts of money for education. And what do we get? I mean, let's look at the United States. All the Republican Party and the Democratic Party do is call each other names. All they do is call each other's names and then tell me one president that hasn't cut taxes for the rich. Tell me a president that hasn't cut taxes for the rich. Tell me. It's not like these companies that are making money off healthcare, they didn't invent any medicines. They didn't invent any operating procedures. They got all that from us, and then they take it and they charge us for what we have given to them. What has Trump invented? What has he invented? What has he made? This guy was running around with the I can't think of the guy's name, the fake Jewish guy who had the island, and he was setting young girls up to be molested by the rich and powerful. You see, they steal our money and then they molest our children. You got these guys with thousands and thousands of acres of land, privately owned. They can kidnap our children and keep them there for a lifetime. Missing children could be in the middle of the woods somewhere, in some dungeon, being mistreated by some billionaire, and we'd never know it. We would never know it. There should be, instead of there being a limit on our wages, there should be a limit on how much money a person can own. Why do we allow a limit on our wages that keeps us poor, but we allow a person to have billions and billions of dollars, which is really what keeps us poor? Why do we keep agreeing to the cutting of taxes for billionaires? Since when does a billionaire need a tax cut? And you know who I blame? In America, I blame Caucasians, because you all run this country. Black people, we're the ones that have kept democracy alive in this country, and you going around hating. I mean, white people, you have taught yourself to hate so much to where you have voted against your best interests. You have voted against your best interests out of hate for the people who work for you. And then not only Caucasians, not only are you doing it, Latinos are doing it to themselves. Asians are doing it to themselves. And Arabs are doing it to themselves too. It seems like the only group of people in this world that's not agreeing to all this stuff are Africans and African Americans. And the reality of the situation, the only reason why we suffer is because our leaders are in Africa are accepting bribes. They're accepting bribes. And the reality of the situation, we, the middle class and the poor, we're the ones doing all the work. They done set up a system where they supposedly finance everything. They finance, we work for minimum wage, and they get all the money. Eventually, we're going to have to start acting like we got some sense. Because the rich people, their kids aren't going off to war. Trump had 5 deferments. He's not going off to war. Then he's building things, and then he uses bankruptcy to make money off of the middle class. There are white Americans out here whose companies have gone belly up because Trump refused to pay them. People, we got to do better than this. But it starts with demanding truth. We have to demand truth. That's why Trump is not going to fund NPR anymore. He's not going to fund, he's cutting the funding for the only corporation we have paid out of our tax dollars to tell us the truth. The only news syndication that we have, he's defunding and getting rid of, so he can just totally lie. Then he downsized the federal government, which a lot, so he can get away with stealing. Why are we allowing this? They tell us it takes them 5 minutes. They'll tell us the truth for 5 minutes. Then they'll tell us the lies day after day after day to where we forget the truth. And why do we forget the truth? Because we're so busy working and trying to take care of our families, we don't have time to listen to all this. Then we come home, we want a little bit of entertainment, so we watch TV instead of watching the depressing news, which is designed to depress us and keep us and stop us from paying attention to what is really going on. Then we look at sports for a little bit of entertainment to get away from, to try to get a break after working 8 and 10-hour days to survive. And then they keep telling us, well, inflation. I mean, why does a millionaire need a tax cut? I mean, I think it's like 5% of this country or less owns 75% of the wealth. And there is 350 million people in the United States. And every single one of us is underpaid. Every single middle class person and poor person in the United States is being underpaid. Billionaires and stuff, they pay less than 1% in taxes. They pay less than 1% in taxes. When are we going to stop this? When are we going to stop this nonsense? And when our police, why are you defending them? Why are you defending them? At some point in time, some of you all are going to have to put your foot down. Military. We make up the military. Langley. When are you going to put your foot down? You know that you're working for a racist organization. You know that Burkina Faso has done nothing but try to survive. What are you doing, man? What kind of demon are you? Doesn't make any sense. Black ministers of churches Having Biden come in there talk about no reparations. That's justice. What is wrong with you? Why are we screwing us? Why are we screwing ourselves for nickels and dimes? And then billionaires and oligarchs, you sell yourself out, you sell your people out, white and black. You sell each other out, and then when the powers to be get mad at you, they take it from you. Farmers, you had these farms, white farmers, you had these farms for generations, and now the vice president and his cronies are taking what you own. They're taking what you own. Now, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do about it. You're going to let that police, who is one of you, kick you off your land. And then if that police don't do exactly what they say, then they're going to fire him. At some point in time, we got to stop this nonsense. We have to stop this nonsense and stop letting rich people take advantage of us and make a fool out of us and demand the truth in the news. Demand the truth in the news so we can make logical decisions. Why do white people need sundown cities? Why? Why do you need a sundown town? You don't even know why you need them. You don't even know why you dislike black people. Just because somebody told you to, divide and conquer. Now, a lot of you racists, MAGA Republicans that believed in Trump, take a hint. Can't you see what's going on? Take a freaking hint. Can't you see? News broadcasters. Can't you see? Why are you allowing them to lie to the people you live next door to? Your lies are affecting your relatives. Why are you letting these people do this? Why are we, the middle class and the poor, we're just giving them money? We're just giving away our lives. We're giving away our lives, our happiness, everything that we work for, we give it away to billionaires. And then we give them tax cuts. And then we beat each other down to ensure that they are able to abuse us. When are we going to wake the hell up? Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.